Don't blink, it's your boy Ink. This is gonna be a weird, very, very weird video. Again, because I'm not doing good. Should have said so before. You can see my thoughts are all jumbled up because I just woke up. Today, it's it's gonna seem like a food test, but it's something I do sporadically, very rarely. But it's one of Inky's favorite snack, and it's bits and bites. Mili-melo. I'm French, right? So we call it meli-melo. Now we did a taste test, and I told you about how this was part of my childhood. This was really, 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 really a it's really at the core of my snack. My father, again, I spent 12 days, was kind of against me having chips. So it's kind of a really funny story. My father was against me having chips because I didn't have any self control, so I would get really fat. And my mom would give me chip because my father wouldn't give me chip. So it's a vicious cycle. And I wanted chip because I couldn't have it. However, and after my father, the place I spent the most time as a kid, these were allowed. Now the reason why they're so important to me was because of variety. Because of variety, it's such a good story. I should have told you the first time, but again, one of the first things we tried on this channel was this one. So the mentality of doing YouTube wasn't a thing, right? But yeah, so my father allowed me to have this. It was like a handful a day. And the really great thing, I think I hope I'm not alone. I think that a lot of kids do that. For example, one of the really like often meal we had was ham and potato. I had so much ham I could not eat ham anymore. I had so much of it. As a kid, what I would do is I would eat the ham, I would eat the potato. I would eat only the hams and only the potato. I'd eat all my plate, but one after the other. And because of that, I started doing this with other food. So, for example, we would have macaroni salad or macaroni and salad, not a macaroni salad, two different ingredients. We'd have whatever. We would have chicken with mashed potato or rice. Chicken and rice was also a staple growing up. Chicken and rice is always going to be one of my favorite meal. My father has this way of making rice. It's going to fuck you up. He puts in... my father... I feel bad saying this. My father's not a great cook. I try to say my mom's a really good cook. My mom, she's really good at cooking. My father, what he would do, he would slow cook the rice with a bit of oil. It was phenomenal, right? And then that rice cooker bullshit. Call me old school, but that's how it is. So back to the video. Why these were special is because I made a habit of separating food, and the habit became an obsession. I couldn't eat two food mixed, and my father would say, "Hey, come on, eat everything together. In your stomach, it doesn't matter." Right? And I would almost prefer to have meals where I could separate because it meant, in a weird way, it meant playing with food. In another weird way, it meant like, oh, I get to choose what I eat. Fuck. I was a weird kid. And of course, you say, "Oh, but you're in vendetta." I wasn't always in vendetta, and but there was remnant. Even as a kid, I had such a brilliant or fucked up mind that I saw a plate, right, and I knew there was like mashed potato, corn, and a chicken, and I was like, "Those are all I like." Even though I have to eat everything because again, you don't waste food. You try not to waste food. I was like, "Yo, I don't care what's gonna happen, right? I'm gonna I'm gonna pretend like I have a choice. And just by choosing you pretend like you have the choice. However, these, with a handful, completely broke that system. Completely broke it. If you look at the back, if you look inside the back, they're mixed. They're mixed. Now I wasn't allowed to take out all of the thing and separate them by handful, and even though I would separate them, as a kid, and still now, my least favorite. So we have a cheese stick, which is basically very dense, very fun. We have a Cheerios, cheese Cheerios, cheddar Cheerios, a oat square, which is amazing. One of my favorite candies is Shreddies, and that's Shreddies, and a Pretzel. One of my least favorite was Pretzel. I was like, okay, can I choose? So this forced me to mix it up. This forced me to not be able to choose or not be able to play with my food. And although I know what you're saying, Ink, you just spent the whole video saying how nice it was to mix to choose your food, how nice it was to be able to play with your food, and now you're telling us it isn't. No, this taught me, even as a kid, even as a lesson I had to understand the hard way, even as a lesson that I had to learn later on. This was one of my favorite snacks, and it was the only thing I could eat, I would eat that I couldn't do a mix or I couldn't unmix. And yeah, so it was like a battle, again, a battle of priorities. Do I prefer playing with my food and separating it, or do I prefer having something that I really enjoy eating? And that was the battle. This was something I didn't have any power against. And yeah, so a little rambling, a nonsensical video, but still something I want to share with you guys. That I love you, that you matter. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.